me tell you all about this beautiful wall hanging that actually Marilyn and Susie made for me with just I am so thankful for them. Joe as well, the Q-tips, they kind of stepped in my moment of, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I need help. So Marilyn and Susie worked together to make the wall hanging, and Joe made the table runner, which I will show you in just a minute. This is the brand new Gingerbread Village, and it hasn't actually been released yet. You will receive an email about it tomorrow. So the Gingerbread Village, I have been wanting to make a pepperkake quilt for the longest time. And just in case you don't know, pepperkake is a Scandinavian thing. It's spiced gingerbread. And why would I be excited about pepperkake? Well, I don't know if you may or may not have heard that Vedler, my last name, is actually a Norwegian name. Grandpa George, Christopher's dad, came over from Norway. Honestly, I have no idea. Let's see, when would it have been? Maybe in the late 1950s or early 1960s. Probably in the late 1950s. I'm just doing the math here. Christopher has two older brothers. So I think in the 1950s, he came over here and he went to university in New Mexico. He actually was a surveyor and was responsible for building quite a bit of Santa Fe. Who knew? So he was from Norway. He grew up in Norway and lived there up until going to college. So Vedler, I have absolutely no idea what it means, but it is a Norwegian name, and there are not that very many of us in the world, interestingly enough. But pepperkake is this Norwegian spiced bread. It's also there's also a version in Sweden, and you probably already know if you're sitting here in this room that my mom and dad, well, my dad now and my sister live in Sweden and have done for let's see, my dad's lived there since Nikki was pregnant with Albert. He is about to turn 17 at the end of December. So my dad's been there for 17 years. My sister has been there for probably about 25 years, the same amount of time I've been over here, maybe 26 years or whatever. So we have got this Norwegian, Swedish, Scandinavian thing going on. And I've wanted to make a pepperkake quilt for the longest time. If you see photographs of pepperkake, the gingerbread, they have beautiful piping on them, beautiful icing piped onto them, and some of the most exquisite designs. And so I was thinking, how can we actually translate that into stitches? So bit of a blurry picture here. So it is just as well. I have got the table runner right here. We have 12 different 6-inch blocks, and they can be stitched up in a hoop that's 150 inches wide. With 8 of them, let me see, trying to give you a glimpse here. 8 of them are houses, and 4 of them are little scenes, and of course we have snowflakes. So that's one half. This guy actually has all 12. There is the other half, and we also decided, actually Joe and I decided, Joe came over not the last time she was here, but back in, I don't know when it was, September. And we were talking about this, and we decided that we needed placemats. So I actually got to stitch up the placemats. We separated out some of the trees. So we've got little extra trees here. So a placemat, and then we've got the snowflakes. I tilt it that way. I don't know if that actually helps with the lighting here. the snowflakes, Joe had commented on putting something on to make it look kind of tufted. And I really think that the snowflakes do that. They look really very cool. So we only stitched up 4 of the placemats. We have 4 different trees. And you can do that with any of the 8 houses that we've got. And the last one that we did is here. So I hope you have fun with the Gingerbread Village. We certainly had fun with it here and across the states in Texas and Arkansas. Many thanks to Susie and Marilyn and Joe. The fabric that we used is, as Marilyn just popped in, it's Amanda Murphy's Cotton Shot Pearl. And we used creamsicle for the orangey colored and creme brulee for the white. So on the placemats, we had the creamsicle background and the white houses. Everything else, everything else, as in the table runner and the wall hanging, we had the houses, aka the gingerbread pieces, in the creamsicle on the creme brulee background. We actually decided when Joe and I were picking out fabrics from my stash that we could possibly use. And I just love the way that this cotton shot pearl has this. I'm looking at it, it's sitting in the sun right now. And with the sun shining on it, it has this very faint, it's not exactly a sparkler, it's kind of like a shimmer. It's the pearlescent effect, but when you have the sun shining on it, it's kind of like a shimmer. It is so beautiful. And combining that with the Aurifil cotton Mako threads, it just looks fabulous.